Welcome everybody to Quality Sewing and Vacuums Facebook Live for the month of July. We have Naomi and Gail here with us today. They have some amazing things that they're going to share with you. Now, if you're new to Quality Sewing and Vacuums Facebook Live, we do have live in-person classes in our 10 stores. What?
It's not just Facebook.
YouTube also.
Oh, we are on YouTube too. My trusty camera crew in the background is reminding me of how awesome it is, where else you can find it, Facebook and YouTube. So we are in person. If you haven't had a chance to come to an in-person class, they are so much fun.
Absolutely.
It's a community, there are snacks, there are prizes, and it's just great fun and show and tell. That's my favorite part. So anyways, all the products that Gail and Naomi are going to be talking about today are 20% off from now until next Thursday. They'll be up and online until Thursday, and then we'll take them down. But so make sure that you get your products that you want today for your 20% off. And if you would like to become a Sew Fun member, we have a special price through the rest of the year. Usually it's $69.99, but right now it's only $49.99 to become a Sew Fun member. You get 20% off like all year round, and you get to come to all the in-person classes for free. So enough of my talking. Oh, don't forget to leave a comment down below on all their cool stuff, or if you have questions, please ask, and then they will answer for you. But if you leave a message or just say, hey, I'm checking in from Detroit or something, your name will go into a drawing for one of these free prizes at the end. And with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Naomi and Gail.
Okay,
Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone. You know, we do have those local locations, and then of course we love our virtual viewers all across the country and maybe even beyond. So, all right, today we have some amazing items, and we have some quilts behind us, right? So we're going to start with our first quilt book. And actually, it's our only book today, but it is a quilt book, and it's right over here. And it's called Jelly Roll Quilts for All Seasons. And this is an Annie's book. And there are 12 different quilts in here. We've done 3. And each of those projects is based on the use of what we commonly call a jelly roll. Now, there's different names for these collections. There are jelly rolls, there are strippies, there's many, many different names, and what they are is a collection, 2.5-inch strips by width of fabric, usually an entire fabric line. So there's usually 40 to 42 strips in a collection, and so you're going to get 1, 2, 3, or 4 of each fabric depending on how large the collection is. So you're going to take that and add it to a few other fabrics and make some wonderful projects.
Yeah.
So Naomi, you want to start with your first one?
Okay, so I got hooked. I got hooked on Mr. Dragon over here. So going into the whole jelly rolls, the great thing about jelly rolls is you don't have to think about it. It just comes to you, it's ready. Maybe you need a coordinating fabric to go with it, but it's a no-brainer, and I love it. So the first one I'm going to start with is the green one right here, and I'm going to grab the book just so I can turn to the page, because I always like to show in the book. So this one is called Irish Blessings, and you can see that the block is displayed right here, and it is a chain block. You can see the chain kind of going through it diagonal, and the block by itself, you know, it's kind of plain, but once you connect all of them, you get a really cool design. It's kind of like an illusion. So we are going to go look at the quilt. Gail's going to help me hold it up. You want to open it up all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is a pretty good size quilt, and I used solids with this. You can kind of see the block right here. There we go, found the block. And then it comes together and it creates this chain piece right here. Now, in the pattern, they have you use different colors here, but I decided to kind of have it pop a little more. I used the same color green. Someone was telling me that it kind of reminds them of a Minecraft quilt, you know, so I'm kind of bummed. I should have quilted it with little, axes or creepers all over it, but I quilted it with kind of a Celtic swirl vine design. And you have 2 little borders. And then on the back, if you know me, I love minky. And I put a lime green minky on the back. So now it's extra cuddly. I love the weight of it. Now, when I do minky, I still put batting inside because I like that it stabilizes it. And it just makes it a little bit heavier, but it's nice and comfortable. So there's the first one.
All right.
You want to fold it up?
I can.
Okay.
Oops.
80. So what size is the green quilt? The green quilt,
88 by 88.
88 by 88. Now the second one I want to go over is my 4th of July quilt. I don't know why I would have did 4th of July, right? Are we in a certain month or something? So we did Grand Ole Flag, and I'm going to show you here. This one has 2 blocks. It has a star block and then a strip block. And the star block consists of flying geese, and the strip block goes together super easy. It's just strips. Now, if you notice, they used a variety of colors to get different shading, and I wanted a little bit more of a modern look. And so I went with just a red, a blue, and a white. And so Gail will help me hold this one up. Okay, and you can see it's very modern, clean lines. You've got your flying geese that go around, your 4 patch, and then your strips. Once again, 2 more little borders, and I quilted it with a star and a string design. And for the back, I did white minky. Now, because it has white minky, I will never use it inside my house because of kids and dogs. But I plan on hanging this up. I might give it away to someone who doesn't have kids or dogs in their house. But white, I love it, but
It's white.
it's white and it's going to get dirty. But it's, once again, it's just, it's fun, it's cuddly. You know, all my quilts get minky unless it's a wall hanging. Now the size of this quilt was 63 by 87. So when I use batting in my quilts with minky, I lean one of two, there's 2 options. Hobbs 80/20 I like to use because it's light and airy, or I like to use a bamboo. It's a 50 cotton, 50 bamboo because it's hypoallergenic and it breathes. So if you get hot or you sweat a lot, it's great for that. So Hobbs or bamboo.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes. So before we talk about our 3rd quilt, I'm going to interject a little product here. And this is our quilt bag. We can set that right on there. And this is our storage bag, right? We've taken down a couple quilts, and now maybe we want to put them away. And this is a wonderful place to keep them. This is a very, very large bag. And this is going to hold both of those quilts that we just took down. This is a breathable bag. I'm going to go ahead and slide that one in there. And if you have traditional quilts, you know, no minky on them, then this will hold 3 queen-size quilts. No problem. But with the minky, we have 2 of these in here, and they are large projects. So we have a little window here to see what's inside. We have handles on the ends. So this is great for finished quilts or pre-quilts, you know, like fabric.
Yes.
We have coats and pillows and clothing, right? Your winter sweaters. Or maybe it's just purses and belts and all that stuff you want to contain, keep clean, dust-free, and stick on the top shelf of the closet so it doesn't fall off. So great way to organize yourself and keep your white minky white, right?
Yes.
All right.
Here.
So we can just put that right under there.
Perfect.
Okay, so the jelly roll or strippies that we have featured today, or one of them, is called Franny's Flowers. And we put that together just so you could see kind of what the coloring looks like. And when you do a jelly roll project, there we go this way, everything's going to blend, right? Because it is a coordinating fabric line. So it looks like it's meant to go together because it is, right? So you can add your other fabrics to go with it, but these are beautiful, beautiful flowers. So pick one up today and make something for yourself. All right, Franny's Flowers. Now, we're going to move to June, right? So I'm not sure we mentioned, you know, there's 12 patterns, so they kind of fall into the 12 months. So she's covered March and July, and I did June. So June is called Dad's Plaid, and in the book, the pattern is a lot more masculine. It has, you know, browns and blues and stuff like that because Father's Day is in June. But the collection that I chose is called Xanadu, and that's one of the other items that's on our list, and is all these purples and pinks and swirls and teals and all these fun colors that I like. So this one has 2 blocks. It has an A block and a B block, and they're the same except the center. This is a 4-patch and this is 1 piece, but the jelly roll strips make the border on this one and the centers on this one. So you pick a coordinating fabric, and then the purple runs through the entire thing. So this, we can open it up and then put it back on here.
Okay.
This one is 80 by 100.
Now, did you make it bigger or?
No, this is
okay.
According to the book, and this is 1 jelly roll, and it's big. So this would lay on a king-size bed or make a queen quite nice. So we can just flip the top down. Naomi did quilt this for me, minky on the back, and beautiful paisley swirl pattern that she put into that. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but it is very, very cool. So you'd have to tell me what batting you put in it because I don't know.
Yeah, this one has the Hobbs 80-20.
Okay.
And something about Hobbs is it drapes really nice. So if you want a batting in any of your quilts that's going to drape, use Hobbs 80-20.
All right. So lots of other wonderful quilts in this book to fit all your seasons, your fall, your Christmas, and even, you know, some Halloween stuff. So pick one up today. Jelly Roll Quilts for all seasons. Now, in doing jelly roll quilts, maybe you want to add those extra pieces, you know, the pink that I did, or the white, the coordinating colors that you're going to use yardage for. You need to cut your own strips. So we have our ruler, and this one happens to be from Quilters Select. Go up just a little bit so you can see it. And Quilters Select products are developed by Alex Anderson, and we have the whole line here at the store, and they have rulers, rotary cutters, and mats. So the rulers are very nice because they have a coating on the back of the ruler that keeps it from slipping when you're doing your rotary cutting. So this one comes 2.5 inches. It's prepared to do your strips, and 18 inches long. So you've got plenty of length. And my strip here
Switch.
Yeah, I think so. So if you have, I'll just work over the top of you, right? If I had my fabric and I had a traditional ruler, right? I have this one upside down at the moment, and I put that down on my fabric, it might slip around. So this one has that coating. So when I flip it to right side up and push on it, you can see that it takes the fabric with it. So when I go to cut, it's not going to slip on me. So I'm going to line this up a little bit better. And I'm just going to tap that guard out of the way. And I've got a great cut. I'm going to flip the guard the other way, and I can cut the other side. So this goes right-handed and left-handed, very easy. I am not left-handed, so this is not really working for me. You know, it's not the rotary cutter's fault. It is my mechanics of my arm. Yep, not going to go. Let's try one more time here. But there is nothing to turn over or flip as far as the blade goes to make it a left-handed cutter. So you get the idea. If you're left-handed, that'll work great. And then just a tap puts the guard back on. So
now sometimes when I like to, before I pre-cut my strips, I like to starch my fabric. And we have this Magic Premium Quilting and Crafting Spray we brought in. And this lasts for a while. You know, you can do a lot of spraying. I will say about 2 weeks ago, I went on a retreat and I sprayed all my fabric for a double wedding ring quilt. And I made sure that it was going to help me through those curves. But when it comes to the jelly roll strips, what I did was I took my yardage, I sprayed it all down, I ironed it, so I sprayed it, and then I ironed it. And I will say, there are different levels of starch out there. We have Best Press, which is a lighter weight, and then we have true starch, like liquid starch you use for military uniforms, we'll say. So this to me is definitely in the middle. It's nice because it adds some stability to your fabric as you're working with it. I've noticed a lot lately that some fabric is starting to unravel a little bit as you're cutting it. So when I starch it, it stabilizes it, so I have less unraveling of the fabric. So I really like the starch we brought in today.
yeah, plus any bias.
Yes,
Edges
yeah, any
and stuff,
bias
it's gonna
edges,
stabilize for that.
bias curves, you know, it can be your friend. And you know,
Definitely.
you can spray it once, iron it. If you want it to have a little more stability, spray it again, and it keeps building on each other.
Yes. I haven't had the need to go twice yet, but
Yeah.
I might run into something anyway.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do the next?
Yeah. So the next pattern I want to talk about was a lot of fun. It is called the Mountain River pattern, and I'll put it here so you can see it. Now this one, as you can kind of see in the picture, it's a mountainscape, and it's a little more desert scene. So when I made mine, I thought, you know, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I need a little bit more green in my life. We get rain, so we have green trees, and I kept the sky to one color, got the sun. I had a lot of fun making this. It consists of 4.5-inch blocks. So I don't know if you can see, but there's little blocks, and then there's a block here, and you have a half square triangle for along the mountain. And then up by the sun and down by the river, you have a curve. So you do have a little bit of curve sewing, but it's not much. And for that, in the pattern, it will give you a template. And I like to take my templates and cut them out of a plastic template material before I do any cutting of fabric, because, you know, I'm going to use this multiple times. So I take that, I cut out my pieces. Now their recommendation for curves is, and I'll put this down so you can kind of see. here. Okay, so you have your 2 pieces, and this is what you want to make. Their recommendation is before you sew your small piece onto your big piece, you're going to cut a 1/4 inch off each end, right here and here. Then you're going to line it up center, flip it over, line up your ends, and you're going to pin like crazy. And you're just going to sew, and then you'll get your nice curved piece here. And I had fun with this one in the sense of I went custom quilting on this. I have my own long arm, and I decided I'm going to go crazy. So each color of fabric got their own different design. And on the back, surprise, surprise, you want to hold that corner for me? You get minky, and it's the same minky color of the sky. And yeah, and you can really see it. And there is batting in this one, and this one has bamboo in it.
Oh, I didn't feel the batting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
So once again, this one is the modern, it's a modern quilt pattern, and it's 60 by 69 Mountain River. Okay.
All right.
And you can talk about the next.
Yes, I think it's time to talk about embroidery, right? So we have wonderful quilts, and the embroidery design that we have today also makes a quilt. And this one is called the Cozy Cottage Calendar and Quilt. And got a little bit of glare. But there is a USB stick inside. And on that USB stick, you're going to get all the files that you need for the instructions, the fabric requirements, all the designs, the applique, the quilting, 2 different sizes, and all of that information in there is multi-format to fit any embroidery machine. And you can do 5 by 7 inch or 6 by 8 inch hoop size. So what we're building is, sure, over here, and these are from Shelley Smola Designs, and you can either make the quilt or you can make the perpetual calendar. Now the designs in here, you know, the images are going to be the same. There's 12, one for every month, or you can put them, you know, together in block fashion here. So you get a set that does not have buttonholes, and you get a set that does have buttonholes. So you can unbutton these and put on a different picture for each month. Then you don't have to stare at the same one all year long. And then we have...
Or you could forget for a few months and it stays up. And
right. We have the months that come off, so you can, you know, unbutton October and put on July or, you know, whatever. Of course, our days don't change, so we've got Sunday through Saturday there. And then we have all of these fun little button type things, right? And they will either hook on, you can snap, or Velcro, and that's going to change the days of the week that according, you know, go with your month. Up here on the top row are just a few of the many holidays that they offer. And then on the bottom row, they have some fun things like you can indicate your doctor's appointment, your dentist's appointment, you know, maybe you got a party coming up. So, you know, a perpetual calendar for the entire year. Now, you can take any of these elements and put them onto something else as well. It's just a beautiful collection. You know, a matching household.
I think it's funny that you said on the bottom row here, some fun things. And then you said, you know, doctor appointments, because you know, those are fun.
Yeah. But Naomi has taken those designs, and go ahead and explain.
So I just took a couple of the random designs, and I'll come over here so you can really kind of see up close. So starting with this one, I just pulled this element off, and this is just a kind of like a tea napkin that I got from the store, and I just pulled an element and I stitched it out in one color. I used a medium weight cutaway stabilizer. And for this one, I had plans for this, but sometimes you should probably make sure you have all the supplies before you do your project, but I'll explain. So I took one of the designs and I decided not to do applique in the middle. I just stitched it out in one color. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to take crayons and I'm going to color it in, and then I'm going to heat set it with an iron. But I should probably also check to make sure I have crayons in my house, because my kids have kind of aged out from crayon land. And I think I probably tossed them all. Maybe they melted, but this is a great option to just take a design and run with it and put it on something else. And once again, I used a medium weight cutaway stabilizer.
Wonderful. And as I was telling someone else, everyone with an embroidery machine has the capability to do that, right? You don't need extra software. You can choose not to stitch some of the stops on your embroidery design. It doesn't mean you have to, choose that. You should all have a go forward and go back by color button. And so just skip to the next color and stitch something else. So you don't have to have software for that, although we'd be happy to, accommodate that as well.
And if you do have software, you could even take one of these buttons and you could keep the idea of the outside and you could delete the inside and create your own little fun button that might be something meaningful to you.
Sure. Or, make little covered buttons out of some of these or something.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of ideas. So lots of information. Beautiful, beautiful design in that. All right. I believe we are on to the next.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about our crisscross apron pattern. Okay, so the crisscross apron pattern, all you need is 2 yards of fabric, 1 yard for the front, 1 yard for the back, and it's reversible. We are both wearing one, but I have one kind of displayed right here. You can see it has the rose fabric on one side. It has pockets that have been stabilized, and then a solid green on the inside with pockets. Now, I kind of went a little crazy on this, and I decided I'm going to quilt it. Why not? So this is called my winter apron. If you have an outdoor kitchen or you like to grill in the winter, this is perfect for you. But I went with this just because I love roses but I will say something, if you quilt it, you will need to put binding on the edges, because with the ones we're wearing, you just flip it. So I did have to put the binding on this one. And you can kind of see what we're wearing.
And I altered my pockets a little bit, made them a little bit bigger so I can have more pocket space, and then added a pocket up here. There's lots of things to put in your pockets at work. So this is my new work apron, lovely ombre fabric. So, go out there and find something fun. You want to show the inside of yours?
So I like to show you, okay, so here's the one side. I'm using cape fabric on both sides, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to just, yeah, I know. It's fine, it's clipped to it. So then I'll just flip it around, and more cape fabric on the back.
Yeah, and so they fit many sizes, right? It fits this cute little hanger over here. It overlaps quite a bit. And then, someone that's a little larger, it's not going to cross over as much in the back, but it fits multiple people, right? So.
And I will say this pattern has 2 sizes. It has a small medium and a large extra large. I'm wearing a small medium, and I did shorten my straps a little. And this is the large extra large size.
Mine's the large.
And they all come in this one pattern, so you don't have to get 2 separate patterns. So very easy to put on, always great to cover up. I'm probably messed up from it.
Just a little bit, not much.
But I'm really good at staining my clothes. So, anytime I can wear aprons.
Clean.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
And we have our whales right here, so we might as well talk about those next. So this is our laser kit, and this comes from a company called Stirrups and Stitches. And this is, hands down, got to be the easiest project I've ever done. You know, it took me longer to pick my fabric than it did to finish it out. And this is a high quality cotton that is going to come with the adhesive on the back already, along with the paper. And you'd peel the paper, and then you would press that to a piece of fabric, right? And they've chosen a batik. So this is a reverse applique kind of style. So the holes are in the black. Not sure if that's coming through or not.
Yeah.
All right. So all of that space here, let's put it up against that green right there, right? So all of those holes in that black fabric are going to show whatever fabric you choose for the background. And then all you have to do is press. If you choose to sew a casing in it, you can. This one, actually, they flipped the black down and pressed in a casing. So it can be done even without a sewing machine. But the idea behind these is you put a light source behind the item, like hang it in a window, and it's going to look like stained glass. And the batiks just set this off beautifully. So
now I have seen a few people take and use this as a center for a quilt. So you could use this as a quilt option too. You'd put it in the center, you'd iron it on. There are instructions in there if you want to applique it or quilting recommendations. It's up to you if you want to applique around all those little pieces. I would probably just quilt around each section, maybe some stippling just to hold it down once it's all together. But this could be a great center for a quilt, especially if you find some great nautical fabric to go with it.
You could even put a piece of organza over the top to hold all the bits in, and
I like
and
that
then
idea
quilt
too.
through that too, and add some sparkle.
Yep.
To
Some
that as
rhinestones.
well. Yeah. Why not? Why not? All right. So the as of this filming, so the company built this just for us, right? They designed this for us, and it is exclusive to Quality Sewing at the moment. So as of this filming, this is the only place you can get it. They will eventually offer it, I'm sure, to other folks. But for now, you know, check it out and pick one up from us.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's dragon time.
It's my baby. Okay, let's shift and talk about our friend here.
I'm going to hand those to you if you don't mind.
Here you go.
I will take him. All right, so there has been much fervor over our little dragon here, right? This is the Debonair Dragon. And he is, well, let's put just the one in the plastic right there. Or,
Yep, you go. Keep talking.
yep. You can do that one because it won't glare so bad. But I'm going to keep all the rest of this. There you go. So, he is a large, structured, stuffed animal, right? Now, he does not have to be this complicated. There are so many different offerings in this pattern. You can go super easy, you can go super hard, or somewhere in the middle. And the one I did is kind of in the middle. And I say hard, but it's just not difficult, it's just involved. So there are a few pages of instructions, about 15. And then there are a few pages of patterns, you know, about 15 maybe, I didn't count. But he's not small, right? So your pattern pieces are not going to fit on one or two pieces of paper. So this is not a bad thing. And the pattern pieces include many, many, many options. So without getting too deep into the pattern instructions themselves, they have lots of pages of inspiration, right? So this is different ways that you can build him. Do you want wings that look like A, or do you want wings that look like B? Do you want to build this kind of spine or that kind of spine? So what you really, really want to do is read the pattern through all the way from beginning to end. Every time I say that, some people laugh because they know me. I don't always do that first, but there's all sorts of different options. So once you take those pieces of paper out, the instructions themselves aren't quite as daunting, right? But they are beautifully written. There are mega pictures, right? And lots of descriptions, and they are going to walk you through this step by step by step by step. It's an amazing pattern. So having multiple pages is just very, very cool. And I'm still not finding the one I want. So on the back here, I'm just going to flip this over. We have our dragon as built up here. And then right down here, I'm upside down and backwards, we have the simple version, right? This is the stripped down, no wings, no horns, no nothing, right? He's got no ears. He's got eyes and a nose, arms and legs, right? This is Littlefoot from The Land Before Time. So you do not have to make a super, super involved. Yep, I don't know where the other one is.
And who doesn't love Littlefoot?
I know, he's so cute, right? So you definitely have options. So read through the pattern, make some decisions, decide what color you're going to build him, right? I took that photo from the front and copied it off onto, I just drew around it with a pen in the window, you know, kind of, and then got out my color crayons, right? What color am I going to build him? And then photocopied the pattern pieces that I needed so that I could cut up one set and still have a complete set for the next one, right? Because there's always going to be another dragon. Now, we have a few things, right, that we're offering to put him together, right? Because he does require, well, he doesn't require, but we did use a few things. So if you want to make Littlefoot and leave all of those things off, you can just fill him with fiberfill and, you know, make a little stuffy and you're good to go, right? Super easy. Now, if you're going to build him, he has a backbone. So if you can kind of see, he has a posable tail. He has a spine in here that I can move and it will stay. And it's called armature. Poor guy. Just like you and I, he's got a spine. It runs from his head way up the top, all the way down his neck, his back, and all the way out to the tail. And it looks like this. It looks like a spine. And when you move it, it stays. Now, this is the first time I've played with armature, but it's very, very cool. So he takes 22 to 24 inches of armature, and that's how long this piece is, to go from here all the way down to the end. So we do have armature in a package somewhere. And it is 24 inches long, 3/16 inch, and that is listed on our website. And there we go.
And it's just fun to play with.
It is.
Thank you.
You know, you need a fidget toy, right? You can just play with that. But so there's the armature to make him stand up. Now, I used Minky, big surprise, to build him. I have a connection over here. Right?
All you need is a friend to send you all their scraps.
And then I also used some leftovers. In March, I made kind of a house coat out of a jacket pattern using a bedspread, right? That makes sense. And this was some of my scraps. So he has a chevron belly there, breastplate. And there's also, I don't know if you can pick this up on the microphone, but we have this crackly sensory noise material that we have stuffed in his wings. And we offer that as well. So anytime you have, a toy, maybe a dog toy, a kid toy that you want crackle, you can just put one layer of this, and it's a huge piece. It's going to make a bunch. You just put it in there, and it's going to make lots and lots of noise. And then wire. So I used wire in his wing, and they do recommend the wire in the pattern. We added the crinkle stuff. I don't believe that that was mentioned in the pattern. But I just took some jewelry wire and folded a piece in half and twisted it. That way the one end with the fold doesn't sharp, so it's not going to poke out. And then the piece that I used in the wing, I made extra long so that when I sewed it into the body, I wrapped the two pieces of wire to each other and I wrapped them around the spine. So that really anchors everything. So when his wings go up, they stay up. When they go down, they're going to stay down. So he's all good there. And then you just follow the directions. You do the wings first, you start building the rest of his body, and you turn him inside out. Now, as we go along and build him, right, there's curves and different things that you're going to need to, these are my dragon building tools. So, thank you. Mm-hmm. So this is a pair of heavy-duty rag snips that we used. And anytime you need to clip corners and clip around things, these are great for that. Now, this is actually built for doing rag quilts, and very, very heavy fabrics can be cut with these scissors. They're serrated, they're very sharp, and right now this is 4 layers of denim. And it just snips through that like butter. Mm-hmm. So
I love the spring.
Yes,
in it.
And it springs back, so it's not like you have to open it each time. It's going to open for you, and then you just go on to the next one. So very, very sharp little scissors. So those are the heavy-duty rag scissors, and they look like that. There we go. All right, and then
trade you.
Yep. These are from OESD, and these are called alligator clamps, and you may recognize them. They build these or make these to create all those 3-dimensional lace designs that they have out there. They build pumpkins and what did I see yesterday, a birthday cake. Amazing. But they have buttons and buttonholes that you have to button. Well, I used the long neck on this tool and the little itty bitty clamp on the end, so that I could get into itsy bitsy little places. This might be a little bit. There we go. And turn things inside out, like all of his toenails and the little talons on his wings, but also to grab like fiberfill stuffing and stuff them inside different corners and different places. So they come in very, very handy for that.
Now, if you want to be the cool mom or the cool grandma, you take that, hold it back up.
Yeah.
You take this.
That's right.
You got your little alligator guy, okay? And if you want to encourage kids for sewing and helping you out with the projects and they have to use these, put a little googly eye right here, and then they can make it talk as they're working away. Yes. I'm a mom, you can tell.
All right.
Okay.
And then the last thing is, even though he has a spine, if all he had in him was lots of fluffy fiberfill, he still might be kind of light-headed or light-bottomed or whatever. So we've added some poly pellets to his bum. So this is going to make him bottom heavy, right? There's a nice big spot right here to put a bean bag type thing. So I did make a separate little pillow for him and filled it with the poly pellets. Now these are plastic, so unlike food items, you might put in there beans and rice and stuff. If they get wet, they're not going to grow. So you can, you know, not worry about your little dragon getting wet. So I filled that and then put that into the bottom before I sealed them up. So I hope to see lots and lots of pictures of everybody out there that's building their dragon. And about a week ago or so, we put out kind of an all call because while he's a beautiful little dragon, he did not have a name. So we had a little naming contest, and many of you participated, and we really, really appreciate all the contributions to that. We got our heads together here, and we came up with a winner. So he is officially named Emberton. So here is his little, yep, he's now a member of the quality sewing staff, Emberton. So to Kathy Green, congratulations. This was your selection, and please contact us because we need to get you your prize. Now, we got together, Naomi and I, and in addition to the pattern, which is what Quality has offered as the prize, you're going to get a dragon building kit, right? So you have the pattern, you have the armature, so you've got a spine, you got a little pair of eyeballs in there, and you get a bag full of scraps. So Kathy, please contact Andrea at quilting,
No,
I'm sorry, at qualitysewing.com.
So Kathy Green, send an email to Andrea at qualitysewing.com.
Yep, and we will arrange to get this to you. So have fun, and we have to have pictures. All right.
Okay. Oh, we have a question. Oh.
So there's the eyes. So the question is, where do we get the eyes? There's many different outlets out there. You can Google search dragon eyes, or these are safety eyes, and there's so many different colors out there. To offer them, you know, for sale on the internet for us was very, very difficult. If you were close to one of your store locations, you can inquire about getting those in person. But there's about 20 different colors, so they're available.
Excellent. So cute. I love the dragon. When we were traveling around doing So Fun in person, I always said, well, Gail made this, but my contribution was giving her Minky.
Yes.
So that was, half the battle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so the next item we want to talk about is the SweetPea Sling. Okay. And the SweetPea Sling, as you can see, it's a nice crossbody bag. And I will grab the one I made. With this, you have two options. You can make it with yardage, like I did, or you can make it with a rainbow kit that we brought in. I will show you that right here. We have the rainbow mini kit, and it comes with 20 fabrics. And there's enough to do 2 fronts, or you can also do a bonus project, which I'll let Gail talk about that in a minute. But with using yardage, they recommend you take your fabric and you quilt it first. Then you're going to cut apart all your pieces. You have one zipper right here that's great. This will easily fit a cell phone or a medium-sized wallet. Then on the back side, you have another pocket at an angle, so you can stick other little things. On the inside, I have a nice big opening. You have a pocket here and a card holder on mine. Now on the pattern, there is an option to do right here a key hook. I opted not to do it. For the zipper, I love sewing zippers on like this because you attach it to a gusset and then you take that gusset and you sew it onto your front and back that way. And then I did do 2 zipper pulls, and we brought in these really great rainbow zippers. And we have, thank you, we have a black and a white option, and both of them are rainbow zippers. And you get 7 zipper pulls. And my recommendation, whenever you buy yardage like this, because it is 2.5 yards, I like to take all my zipper pulls first and attach it to my zipper tape. Then you don't lose any of your zipper pulls. And you're not trying to put that zipper pull on in the heat of the moment when you're making the project and you're trying to get it attached. So we have those. And we also have some hardware. And this is the SweetPea Sling hardware kit. And this is made for this pattern. And it comes with the, got my hold here. So it comes with this hardware right here to attach it to your bag. It comes with all your slider hardware you need for your webbing. And you can complete your bag just like that. We also have some options because I find that it's hard to find, at least in my area, 2-inch webbing. So we brought in multiple color options of webbing. Let's see if I can hold them all. Okay, black. So we have black, purple, green, pink, yellow, and I'm sure they have different names than those. And then for the people who have sublimation printers, we did bring in 2 sublimation printing options, a 2-inch and a 1-inch option. Now you can take the webbing and you can leave it just as a regular webbing, which looks great. Or you could take ribbon on it and you can attach it and add a little bit more extra bling to it. Now, I usually have one, but I don't have it. So this webbing, the colored webbing, is not iron friendly. It will shrivel up and it'll look extra crunchy. So, you know, if you like that crunchy look, then go for it. But no, so this is what we did here. And we actually, it was funny, we both used the same kind of purple lavender webbing, not on purpose. We didn't get together and say, hey, let's use the same. But I am going to let Gail talk about hers, and then she'll talk about the rest of the notions that kind of go with it.
All right, sounds good.
Sound good?
So Naomi used cork for her connectors because where these fasten to the bag, you do need a little bit more, strength. I used a vinyl that I had at home because it was purple, right? Mine has that pocket on the back as well. I went a lot of contrasting colors. I need all the help I can get in finding my pockets, right? So they've got to be a little bit different color. You can tell from my apron too, you know. And then that pocket on the front, I went with 1 pull, and I did do the little clip for the keys, and that is part of that hardware kit, so it's all in there. Again, that same back pocket in the card pockets. Now, to reinforce your pockets, you can use rivets. And rivets can come in different colors, but they can use, like I said, be used for reinforcement. They can also be used to construct. So this webbing is a little bit heavier, and it'll still go through your sewing machine just fine, but I chose to add rivets to create my strap instead of sewing it. Just adds a little bit different look. And we have those rivets in rainbow, in silver, and in gunmetal. So those options are on our website. And then if you've never dealt with rivets before, then you probably don't have a rivet setter. So you're going to need a rivet setting tool. These do require a hammer. We are not selling the hammers, but you can provide a hammer. So here is that little rivet toolkit, and that's just going to protect the roundness of the cap while you smash the two pieces together. So, very technical term. right?
Every sewer should have a good hammer in their toolkit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see a question coming up, but I can't quite read. No, okay. Also, in another sample over there, we did sublimation a little bit. So she alluded to that for this webbing. You can use rivets to decorate with, right? They can have absolutely no other purpose, but just add a little, a little spot of color wherever you want to go. So I've done that on a collar over there. All right, so webbings. The actual bright colored webbing, like I said, are a little bit heavier. So I do not recommend using those if you're going to add fabric over it, right? Reva just did a whole how do I on making straps. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. But she's covering all of those items with fabric. And if I'm going to cover something in fabric, I'm going to use the black. The black is lighter weight. So it is not going to add a huge amount of bulk to make that strap. So I have a piece of black webbing here, and I've got fabric wrapped around it. It's not a full strap, but I wanted to illustrate on these rivets. This is 3 layers of webbing and 6 layers of fabric. And that is using a 6mm post rivet, which is what we have today. The parts of a rivet are the caps, which are the top and the bottom. That's what you see. And then the post in the middle is how tall or how thick fabric you can cover. So this is a 6mm post, which means I've got plenty of space in there to put all of those layers of fabric. If you get a really, really long post, then your stuff just kind of floats around. You don't get it smashed tight enough to make a good solid rivet setting. So it all depends on what you're hooking together.
Put it right here.
Yeah, so here is a little close-up of what the post and the caps are, right? There's 2 parts. This is the part with your post, and that's the part with your cap. All right, in addition, today, just for fun, we have some sewing machine pulls. They're zipper pulls with sewing machines on them. And this fits a number 5 zipper teeth. There's 4 in a package, and they are in silver or gunmetal. But they actually have the part that makes the zipper zip. So you're just going to attach those to your zipper tape. And
yeah,
cute little sewing machines.
I had a customer tell me she got some of those. She's going to replace some of her zip-up hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So any of the black and colored zippers, as Naomi mentioned, cannot really stand the heat, right? Stay out of the kitchen and all of that. So if you are going to do a process called sublimation, sublimation requires heat. And you need to heat up to about 400 degrees, right? So that would just melt all of those other webbings. So sublimation is a whole special process, and you print onto a special paper with special ink, and then you press it onto a myriad of different things. You know, there's 3-dimensional things like tumblers. You can do it on clothing. You can do it on Minky. Here's my little, I had lots of Minky laying around, right? So I took some white Minky and I did a sublimation print of my tiger face on there. And this is the fuzzy stuff. So it is a fun thing. But that's where the sublimation webbing comes in, because that can take the heat. It is soft, it's white, and you can get some amazing results from that. So,
did you already say it has to have polyester?
I did not.
So it has to, with sublimation printing, you have to have polyester in the material, or it has to have some type of polyester spray that has been put on that item. So,
yeah. Yep. So you can press on cottons and other things. They're just not going to be vivid. and give you that really bright color, right? So we did a little bit of stuff on cork. They're hoping something over there. And this is another little bag that I did that has a cork image that is sublimated along with the zippers on the other side. So that is what sublimation can do, and that is right on the cork. So we have a quick little kind of a vignette. If you're interested in all about sublimation printing, then you can head to one of our stores and check things out. Oh, yeah. And, you know, talk to one of the staff members at the store. And the printer is from Brother, and that is available with, you know, paper and ink from any of our stores.
This would fit my Great Dane.
Yeah, of course. And lots of different things, including that strapping, that webbing. And,
webbing.
You know, folks, I totally forgot one item. So we're going to pull us back. So she said, Naomi mentioned that if you have the fabric, right, you can do the option of the rainbow look. So we have that rainbow kit of fabric. And if you don't want to make a bag out of it, then you can also use all the pieces in that kit to make this table runner. So there are 20 pieces of fabric, 2.5 by 10. Add a little bit of black and a border, and you can have a fun table runner right there. So we have some gifts.
Okay.
And the prizes here. All right, so I have a winner of Ella Bly. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Christmas Cheer pattern. And this is a wonderful quilt pattern. I did a bench pillow.
I recognize that. I posted one of those.
Out of the, yeah, you did. And if you are Ella Bly, please contact Andrea at qualitysewing.com and arrange to acquire your free gift.
Okay, and then I also have a giveaway, and this the winner is Carolyn Meadows, and she has won the Woven Star Variations. And this is also, I've actually made this one too. I have a couple of these pillows. It's a fun woven pillow design. And once again, Carolyn Meadows, and you'll go ahead and email Andrea at qualitysewing.com.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Oh, we got demos.
We have demos.
Sorry, I forgot. You want to
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
You want to go first?
Sure. I'll
Okay.
go first. Wake up our machine. All right. So if you're going to do that rainbow setup here, we have all of those strips, right? We did mention that it would make 2 different sets. So what I did first was take all of the fabrics in that collection. I left the very top one and the very bottom one whole, so that can be the base of my bag. But all of the other pieces I cut at an angle like that. So I've got a set here and a set here, right? The first one is already into my purse, and then the next one is going to be right here. So I've got a piece of the foam. This happens to be a fusible, and I'm just going to strip piece all of these, fat end to skinny end to fat end, and it really doesn't matter. They don't have to line up. They don't have to be super precise. There's plenty of fabric in here for a little bit heavier seam allowances. And then when I flip that one up, I can iron it and I can add the next piece, fat end to skinny and so forth. And then when I'm finished, I've got that pattern piece for the front of the bag. I can just lay on here and cut it out the shape that I need it. So this is basically just a blank, and it's already quilted because I've done that stitch and flip all the way through all the layers. So ready to be assembled. Speaking of assembly,
Assembly line. Okay, so I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to show you my little demo I have going on. So I thought it would be great to do a demo with the SweetPea Sling hardware because it's one of those things that sometimes we don't always put hardware in. And so when we do the hardware, we forget. And then we go, okay, well, let me find a YouTube video. So this will hopefully become a YouTube video that at some point will go up on our channel. But I'm going to take my hardware and I'm going to show you how to attach. So first, I'm going to take one end and I'm going to put my slider on. And you're going to stick one end through. I'm just going to flip it around so you can see. And you're going to loop it back through. And then pull it tight. Then you're going to flip it over like that. And we're going to stitch right here. Now for demo reasons, I'm just going to do a quick straight stitch. If I was going to use this on a bag, I would secure it more, probably use a triple stitch or a zigzag. And let's see how well this machine likes me. I'm used to using Brothers. So I'm just going to stitch that just like that. And the cutter. Okay, and now I have that attached on one end. Now the next most important part is I want to gather up the other end and I want to make sure that this is not twisted. So it's all straight, laying flat. I'm going to take one of my swivels and I'm going to put it on with the swivel facing out. And this one I'm just going to drop to the end. Then I'm going to take the top and feed it through that slider, following that same path, coming through. So it's going to look like this so far. Because if it gets tangled, you're going to have to take it apart. Then I'm going to take the end here with my other swivel and I'm going to stick it on and fold this over. And now I'm going to stitch that. So I'm going to line that up and start sewing. And cut it. Okay. And then I have my adjustable strap. And you can open it and make it any size.
all right.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Well, I hope everyone had fun today. We did. And we always do enjoy, doing so fun. So join us again next month and have a happy summer.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.